special edition of Northwest at 5, our continuing coverage of the wildfire situation unfolding across our region. More than 100 fires are burning, threatening the people and properties of rural and First Nation communities. Several areas are under evacuation orders while others are on standby. We have the very latest on this very active situation, and Talking Angela will join us later with more details. And it's not just towns and communities being impacted. Provincial parks and highways have also been forced to close because of forest fires impacting their areas. We'll let you know which ones are closed. In the midst of all this, a region-wide fire ban goes into effect at midnight tonight. Randy Towns will have the details. And there could be some relief later this week as shower chances return to the area. I'll have the possibilities coming up as this special edition of Northwest at 5 begins now.
This is a special edition of Northwest at 5. Wildfire Chaos.
Good evening, everyone. We have a lot of things to get through in the next 15 minutes, but we are going to do our best to get you informed about this very active situation taking place across our region. And we all knew it was bound to happen eventually after several days of extreme heat. So let's get right to it. Here is the current forest fire map from the Ministry of Natural Resources. As you can see, the region is blanketed with a number of forest fires. Most of these are concentrated in and around Wabakimi Provincial Park, which has been shut down because of the active fire situation. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Overall, there are 128 active wildfires in the region, and the fire hazard is high to extreme. For more on these fires, including communities under evacuation orders and alerts, we are joined now by Talking Angela.
Thank you very much, Ginger. It certainly is a very active and dangerous situation across the region as wildfires continue to burn in several areas. Several photos and videos shared on social media show just how bad the situation really is. The Ontario Provincial Police says that mandatory evacuation orders have been issued for residents in these areas listed on your screen. If you are in any of these areas, you are urged to evacuate immediately. Meanwhile, these areas are under evacuation alerts for what the police are calling an evolving situation. People in those areas are requested to stay vigilant and stay tuned for more details from local authorities. Back to you, Ginger.
Thank you, Angela. And just into our studio, 3 trains carrying combustible and flammable materials were stopped and staged in Allenwater subdivision near Collins, Ontario, due to the wildfire activity. While there is no immediate threat to public safety, emergency responders, emergency management partners, railway officials, and other responding agencies are working together to assess conditions and support ongoing public safety measures. The OPP is urging people to stay away from the affected area and obey all road closures, emergency personnel directions, and posted signage. Now, these wildfires are not just having an impact in communities and First Nations. Provincial parks in the region are also being affected. An Ontario Parks Alert states Wabakimi Provincial Park, north of Thunder Bay, has been shut down, while further closures have been announced at Quetico Provincial Park. 15 forest fires are burning within Wabakimi, with 3 others identified just outside of the boundaries of the remote wilderness areas. The alert states that those with reservations are being contacted directly. At Quetico, its Dawson Trail Campground and backcountry entry stations have been temporarily shuttered. Parts of the park's northern section were declared off-limits 2 weeks ago because of a large wildland fire near Oliphant Lake that continues to burn and has blackened over 1,750 hectares. That fire is one of 5 active within the park. The park plans to reassess the situation on Friday to determine if the closures need to be extended. These wildfires are also forcing some highway closures around the region. Both lanes of Highway 11 east of Atikokan between Highway 633 and Highway 623 are closed. Highway 599 is closed between Highway 516 and Mishkikogamang First Nation. In addition, Highway 527 northbound at Gull Bay First Nation is also closed. Briefly turning away from the active forest fire situation to weather, and much of the region is still under a heat warning. And this heat will possibly continue into tomorrow for some areas, according to Environment Canada. However, I am tracking some possible relief with shower chances returning at the end of the week. But what's the possibility of those showers? I'll have that, along with your full 7-day forecast, in a little bit. Coming up after the break, our continuing coverage of the forest fire situation, including total fire bans in most towns and cities across the region. Plus, a restricted fire zone comes into effect at midnight tonight. Randy Towns will have a report. And a bit later, Fort Frances imposing some water restrictions. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The hottest deals of the summer are happening right now at Dryden GM during their Employee Pricing for You event. For a limited time, you pay what they pay on select new Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick models. And that's not all. Save up to $5,500 in cash discounts on select Silverado and Sierra trucks. Don't wait. These incredible savings won't last forever. Get the deal you deserve during the Employee Pricing for You event. On now at Dryden GM. Visit Dryden GM today or shop online at drydengm.ca.
T-Baytel works hard to provide the best mobility experience in Northern Ontario, but our connection to the North runs far deeper than the 5G waves we beam. We're here to support you through your everyday. We're here for every share, every stream, every catch-up. We're part of every team, every milestone, and every client call, backed by a dedicated team committed to the communities we call home. Choose the 5G mobility network of the North. T-Baytel Mobility, part of your everyday.
Welcome back. With the ongoing wildfire situation and the extreme fire hazard across the region, many communities are imposing total fire bans. Fort Frances' total fire ban will go into effect at 12:01 a.m. tomorrow, coinciding with a restricted fire zone being implemented. All fire permits in the area are suspended, and open-air burning, along with campfires and recreational fires, are prohibited until further notice. Anacocan implemented a total fire ban for its community earlier this week. And as of today, Thunder Bay Fire Rescue announced that the city is under a total fire ban, which applies to all open-air burning, campfires, recreational fires, and fireworks within the city limits. In addition, Division Chief of Fire Prevention Kevin Anderson says all fire permits are suspended.
We did email all permit holders today that there is a fire ban. It's on our website, it's on social media. So, everybody should know, and obviously being so hot, but there will be fines if people are burning.
Also in Thunder Bay, wildfire smoke has intensified and continues to waft into the city and the surrounding area, with scenes like this becoming all too common. Environment Canada has issued an orange air quality warning for the city, saying the smoke is leading to poor air quality conditions. Meteorologist Peter Kimball has this advice.
Very young, they're very old, pregnant women, infants, basically people with existing illnesses, chronic health conditions, and of course people who work outdoors. So there's a lot of people covered by this. If you can, basically stick inside where you hopefully can have better air quality.
The wildfire smoke is expected to linger in Thunder Bay for the next couple of days. The city is also urging residents to take precautions during this week's extreme heat wave. City pools and splash parks will remain open to help people beat the heat. City Aquatics Program Supervisor Sean Bodkin says those facilities provide a much-needed place for families to cool off.
We have a lot of people who don't have the opportunity to take swimming lessons. Maybe they're new to our community, and we have so much swimmable water. It's best to have them in an environment like this where it's supervised, it's safe, and it's going to cool them off, especially in heat like this, because air conditioning is not an option for everybody.
The city's Encampment Response Office has redirected its resources to provide temporary hot weather support for people experiencing homelessness. Cooling centers at Pace and Elevate NWO have also been extended through tomorrow night.
And now the local forecast is brought to you by Northwoods Gallery and Gifts.
Well, much of the region is still feeling the heat, as there are heat warnings remaining in effect throughout the area. This heat may persist into tomorrow, which is bad news for all the firefighters working to extinguish the wildfires in the region. And as previously mentioned, an air quality alert is in effect for areas from Anacocan to Thunder Bay due to wildfire smoke. Tonight there will be widespread smoke for those aforementioned areas, while Fort Frances, Dryden, and Kenora will see a few clouds and a slight chance of a thunderstorm. Lows will range from 16 in western portions of the region to 19 in eastern portions. Tomorrow we'll see mixes of sun and cloud, with clouds increasing from west to east as the day progresses. Areas from Anacocan to Thunder Bay will continue to see local smoke. Highs will range from 27 to 29. And tomorrow night the clouds will hang around for much of the area, and again, places from Anacocan to Thunder Bay will see local smoke. Lows will range from 12 in Anacocan, 17 in Fort Frances, 19 in Thunder Bay, to 20 in Kenora. Taking a look at the outlook, we do have a slight chance for showers Thursday and Friday, and again heading into next week. Our temperatures will finally cool off to around normal normal for this period, with highs in the mid-20s and lows in the lower teens. That's your forecast. Well, in the midst of all these wildfires, a restricted fire zone is being put into place at midnight tonight. Here's Acadia Broadcasting's Randy Toms with the details.
The ban will cover all of northwestern Ontario and a small portion of northeastern Ontario. The Ministry of Natural Resources is dealing with more than 160 active wildland fires. Many of them have sparked within the Northwest region. Several municipalities have already imposed localized bans. The bans restrict the use of campfires, outdoor stoves, and the burning of grass and rubbish until further notice. I'm Randy Toms.
Next, an urgent call of foster homes for displaced pets. We have a report from Jake Willis. Water restrictions are being imposed in Fort Francis, and the Assembly of First Nations General Assembly gets underway in Ottawa. We'll be right back.
For 85 years, Jeep has been built for adventure, and now it's time to celebrate during the Jeep 85th Anniversary celebration at West End Motors. Get 0% financing for up to 84 months on the 2026 Jeep Wrangler and 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee, or discounts of up to $10,250. Don't miss this limited time opportunity to drive legendary capability for less. Visit West End Motors today. Adventure starts here. West End Motors, proudly serving the district for over 80 years.
The huge used store is Lakehead Motors Used. 100 used vehicles available. Trucks under $35K, SUVs under $20K, premium SUVs from under $30K. Lakehead Motors is Thunder Bay's truck headquarters. Over 40 used trucks in stock from under $34,500. Lakehead Motors Used. Memorial at the Harbor Expressway and lakeheadmotors.ca.
Welcome back. There's something else to consider with these wildfires. Pets, which have been displaced due to them. Here's Acadia Broadcasting's Jake Willis with that.
Animal advocates are putting out a call for foster families as wildfires continue to disrupt lives across northwestern Ontario, with many hotels and evacuation centers unable to accommodate pets. Displaced animals are being placed in temporary homes while their owners focus on finding shelter and getting settled. The Northern Reach Rescue Network is helping connect those pets with foster families and coordinating transportation to volunteers throughout the region. Volunteer Paul Bishop says this is an all-hands-on-deck moment.
When it's something like this, we utilize pretty much everything we can so we can help as many people and pets to stay together as families. If the community can step up and open up their homes, that would be absolutely amazing.
Visit our website for more information on how to apply. I'm Jake Willis.
The town of Fort Francis has imposed water restrictions. All non-essential water use is being restricted until further notice. This includes watering lawns or washing their vehicle at home. The town has also temporarily shut down the spray park. It attributes the declining water levels in Rainy Lake, the source of the town's drinking water, to the need to do so. The prolonged dry spell has resulted in the lake's level to drop since early June. And finally, Indigenous chiefs are in Ottawa over the next 3 days for the Assembly of First Nations annual gathering. The group will be debating 53 resolutions, including ones on the federal government's major projects agenda and the state of First Nations child welfare. Chiefs will also hear presentations from government representatives about clean water legislation, consultations on major projects, and an upcoming meeting with First Nation leaders, the Prime Minister, and premiers. And that's all for now. We'll have continuing coverage of the wildfire situation over on our website. For now, though, thanks for watching. Good night.
This has been a presentation of Alpha 7 News Holdings.